Dana White, the CEO of the UFC, has recently reflected on the departure of former UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou, maintaining that the organization did everything possible to retain him. Despite their efforts, White claims Ngannou ultimately did not want to fight Jon Jones, whom White describes as the most intimidating fighter in UFC history. Ngannou, boasting a record of 17 wins and 3 losses in MMA, with 12 wins and 2 losses in the UFC, made headlines in early 2023 by parting ways with the UFC while still reigning as the heavyweight champion. This decision marked a significant shift in the MMA world, as it is rare for a champion to leave the promotion while still holding the title. Ngannou's exit followed a protracted and dramatic negotiation period, during which he transitioned from being the dominant force in the octagon to an independent athlete free to choose his future endeavors. The UFC reportedly extended an unprecedented contract offer to Ngannou, making it the most lucrative deal for any heavyweight in the promotion's history. Despite this, Ngannou had multiple grievances regarding his situation in the UFC and laid out specific conditions for his continued association, which the promotion ultimately could not meet. This deadlock meant that a much-anticipated super fight between Ngannou and Jon Jones never materialized. White's recent comments on Shannon Sharpe's Club Shay Shay podcast emphasized his belief that Ngannou was not interested in facing Jones. He highlighted Jones' dominance and fearsome reputation, suggesting that Ngannou knew he would face a significant challenge. White remarked on Jones' impressive performance, even considering his personal issues outside the octagon, which he believes makes Jones' achievements even more remarkable. "He went through Cyril Gane like that, easily," White said, referring to Jones' swift victory over Gane at UFC 285, where Jones claimed the vacant heavyweight title after a 3-year hiatus. "In my opinion, he does the same thing to Francis. 100%. He does the same thing to Francis. Francis didn't want to fight Jon Jones. Jon Jones is the scariest, most badass fighter of all time. Jon Jones has his issues outside of the octagon, which actually makes it more impressive if you think about the lifestyle that he was living, and doing this to the best fighters in the world." White continued to praise Jones, stating, "Jon Jones is one of those guys that won't truly be appreciated until he's gone. But I'm telling you right now, when you talk about who the baddest man on the planet is, 2 guys get locked in a room. Who is walking out? It's FC King Jon Jones all day, every time." Despite White's assertions, it is challenging to fully accept his claim that Ngannou avoided Jones, especially given Ngannou's subsequent ventures into boxing. After leaving the UFC, Ngannou faced some of the biggest names in boxing, including Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. In his match against Fury, Ngannou was highly competitive, while he faced a knockout defeat against Joshua. These bouts demonstrated Ngannou's willingness to engage with top-tier opponents in a different combat sport, contradicting the notion that he was reluctant to face challenging adversaries. The narrative surrounding Ngannou's exit is further complicated by White's past advice to Jones in March 2021, after Ngannou won the heavyweight title by defeating Stipe Miocic. White had then humorously suggested that Jones should consider moving down to the 185-pound division, underscoring the perceived threat Ngannou posed at that time. In summary, while Dana White maintains that Francis Ngannou left the UFC to avoid a fight with Jon Jones, Ngannou's actions post-UFC indicate a continued desire to test himself against elite fighters, albeit in a different sport. This complex situation reflects the multifaceted nature of negotiations and decisions in the world of professional fighting.